Well, everybody, look at Madden 19. This is actually what we would actually do. We're gonna go into switching into an offline franchise. We're gonna go ahead and start a new franchise. We're gonna go ahead and probably use an active roster and see what we actually can find. It's gonna go ahead and import one. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and choose the Denver Broncos right here. All right. So at this point, I'm gonna go ahead and use what it's actually there for. So usually I actually like to use my own coach at this point. And everything. So what you would actually want to do in your actually franchise, and what it's doing is actually going to simulate the preseason, and it's going to go into week 1 of the franchise. And it's going to use its active roster from week 1 from what it is actually what it should. So that's how we're actually going to do that. Okay, so we're actually using Vance Joseph actually. So he's actually going to go ahead and do that. So we're going to go ahead and scroll over here and see what we can actually find. So so I'm going to go into my depth chart and see who is actually involved in what's going on. So this is how you can actually go get a Kevin Hogan and McManus. So we only have Case Keenum and Kevin Hogan as the active rosters of quarterbacks, and then we have Phillip Lindsay, Freeman, Booker. So that's how we actually going to go ahead and do it. Manuel Sanders. So as you see, we do not actually have the people that we actually first started the season with. So we actually have the active roster as of today. So what we're going to actually go ahead and do and use the roster that you actually see it right now. So we're going to go ahead and be picky choosy. So I'm going to go ahead and scroll to my offensive line, as I am actually going the opposite direction what we actually do need. So we're going to start with our left tackle, Garrett Bowles. So we're going to go ahead and poke Garrett Bowles. So we're going to go ahead and edit player with Garrett Bowles. As you see that Garrett Bowles actually shows up as 72, like the Garrett Bowles we actually see as of today. Huge guy, right? So this is what we're going to actually do as Garrett Bowles. So right now, we're going to go ahead and go with development. You have him as quick. I'm going to go ahead and switch him as a superstar, because that's just what I want to do. Because the development will, where he was at before, superstar will actually develop him a little bit further. So what you want to actually do with Garrett Bowles, and that his speed actually is at a 74. Okay, unacceptable. With an offensive line, you actually want him at a 90. So that's what we did. So we switched him up to a 90. So as you see on the right hand side overall by type, you can actually see the pass protector, power, and agility. So we're going to go ahead and use this carrying. So his BC vision needs to be actually up to more like a 50. And then you actually can break the tackle. Trucking actually needs to go up to, let's just see, about a 70. That's where the chucking actually needs to be. There's no spin moves, elusiveness, catching, or anything else that needs to actually happen. Jumping, throwing power, anything else. So he actually needs to go down to his blocks. Actually, as you see, now we actually got to a lead block. I'll actually want to keep that to a, let's go, it was from a 90 to, I actually switch it to a 92. Impact block, let's go to a 99. Play action recognition, we're going to go ahead and use this as a 95. And then we go to our tackling. Tackling actually needs to go up to like a 65. Something he doesn't really actually need in his position, but it'll actually help in here. Hit power. We'll go into the hit power. Doesn't really need the hit power, but we'll actually exceed it to a 70. Shed blocking. We'll go and hit the shed blocking right up in here. As you see, I can go up and down, use it, and that's that. Elusiveness, power, pursuit, man coverage. So man coverage will actually go up to a 99. Zone coverage will actually go up there. I just now noticed that is for a defensive player. So we'll actually go into a 72. And this will go to a 50. Alright. Run block. We're going to do 99. Block there. Lead block. There you go. Impact block. 99. And play recognition. That's that. Okay, so now we're going to go into our power block. 99. Pass block. And as you see, it's actually going there. And our run blocking all the way there. Play action. Break a sack. Okay, so those are just for your, any of these right here, or for the quarterback right here. And from the blocking, obviously, is where you actually need to be. So that's pretty much what we actually need to do. The press zone coverage, man coverage. So we're going to put the man coverage up, and we're going to put the zone coverage up. Okay, that doesn't really do much. So that's that in a nutshell. But I like to use the stamina, toughness, and injury over at 99 all at once. This is what we'll actually go ahead and do. We're going to go ahead and make sure that this player can actually go to a 99 speed. So maybe his speed actually needs to go up. His acceleration, not so much. Agility, we'll go ahead and do agility all at once. Speed all at once. Oh, and now his strength. Awareness. And now his awareness is up. So his awareness and everything else is now up. As you see, Garrett Bowles is now at a 99. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and exit out of here and save the change. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and go to our left guard. So our left guard is actually Ron Larry. Ron Larry over here. So yeah, so Ron Larry over here, we go to edit player as usual, do the same thing. So with Ron Larry, he's a left guard, so we actually want to go ahead and make him also superstar. And then we're going to go ahead and use our L1 R1. That's how we actually get into our L1s and R1s. And now we're speed, acceleration, agility, strength, and awareness. As you see, by just changing that already with his ability that he was already doing, his top power is already at a 90. His pack protection is already at an 86. Now, so we're actually going to go all the way down to our blocking. So with this guy, he needs a release. So we're actually going to bring that up to a 54. There's no jumping, no throwing power, no nothing, because he's not a quarterback. So we're just going to keep that the way it is. Pass blocking. It was already up. So we're just going to go ahead and pump this guy up to where it was. We're just going to go ahead and use all of this. The finesse block, all of that. Before I even actually got to my lead block and impact block, he was already at a 99. Already at a 99. But I could actually play with it and everything else. As I can go all the way down, I can actually go ahead and use all this. As you see, I freshly used a brand new league. I didn't get into anything else that I've seen and everything else. So I can go ahead and play with my player all I want. Now I can save that change. Now that player is already at a 99 rating. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is use my Matt Paradis. Not a lot of people like Matt Paradis. As you see up on there, he's an 87 overall. 87. Not a big deal, Matt Paradis. So I always like to use the development first. So we're going to use him as a star. Not really develop him very much or anything else. And then we're going to go ahead and click one over by an L1 at this point. So we want to use his speed, acceleration, agility, strength, and as you see, I didn't use agility very much. I should actually go 99 on that, but you know, let's go 99 just for what I want to do. Now we go to the blocking because he's offensive line. We don't need a sack, we don't need that. So we already actually know that he wants to use his blocking and etc. Before I even get to my run blocking, his pass protection is already at a 99 rating. So this guy is actually at a 99 rating as of right now. So I don't even need to pump up any of these players, any of this. I don't need the run blocking finesse, lead blocking protection, or impact protection. But I'm going to go ahead and do it and be excessive anyway. Etc. You know, so this is what I'm going to go ahead and do. And I am going to do it. You get the point? So each position, so I'm going to go ahead and skip over to my middle linebacker. The middle linebacker over here is actually going to be Todd Davis. Now what Todd Davis actually does is actually just the middle linebacker for the Denver Broncos. They don't really use the middle linebacker for the Denver Broncos very often at all. But Todd Davis, in the reality world, they actually use him for a whole lot. So in the playbook, he's all over the place. But they don't use him at all. Other than just to guard the middle, and that is what it's for. But how we're going to utilize Todd Davis is actually we're going to poke him, and you know what a defensive player does, everybody. he's actually not the line. He's actually like just as useful as an outside linebacker. I can actually change his name. I can actually change what he wants. I could change him into his nickname, whoever his nickname is. I can use him as normal, superstar, or actually go into a star. Right now we're going to actually use it as a superstar. You don't want to use that circle button or anything else. So every player actually uses speed and acceleration. That's where you want to start. It's pretty much where you want to start. Agility, okay. Strength, who needs it? Everybody. Awareness, you're a smart guy if you actually have awareness. Over here, you kind of want his BC acceleration over here. You actually want to use that as an 85. You don't want to go acceleration of everything else because you actually want it more realistic than you want. But I'm actually just cutting to the corners and using him what he actually wants to be used for. So pass blocking and all that jazz. So right here we have a lead block. You want to go 90 on this guy. You don't want to go too 90 on everything because this guy will actually be not in balance is what you want it to be. But you actually want to go to his strengths as all times. You want to use everything to its strengths at all times. So you have man coverage and everything else. So you already have pretty much Todd Davis to where he needs to be. Zone coverage. At this point, right now, I don't actually have to be there. So I go to the acceleration. I just use him as 90. That is that. Might be, as you see, he's a 99 rating, but he's actually not the player that you actually think that he is. As I'm going up and I'm actually going down. 99 rating. However, not the player that actually is in excessive of everything. Right? He can't do kick returns, can't do anything. Not cheating, is it? Is it not? This is not hacking. This is not what I'm actually expecting. This is actually just using your player to its strengths. And then if you're actually using this is actually pretty much what you actually want to do as an online actually mind screwing everybody that you actually want to play with. I actually played in a league in Madden 16 that they did this to me all day and they lied to me about what they were doing. I call that cheating because I actually did not know they were doing it. I was actually using my players to, you know, their actual rating of what I was actually given to. Now, I'm only going to do this to the first stringers. I'm not going to do it to the backups. Now, here's the thing. Nobody really likes and loves Case Keenum, right? Nobody really likes him very much. Right? Am I right or wrong? Send a like to everything about what I'm actually doing in my tutorial. Now, we're actually not going to use a quick, we're just going to use star. So he's not over protection or anything else. We're going to only use him to his strengths. So we're going to go back into it. I actually push circle, not a good idea. And then we're going to go into his rating. Now this guy is a pocket passer and he kind of can get out of the pocket. Now when we use acceleration and speed, at this point, now he's not a pocket passer. He's a straight up elusive guy. And that's what we're actually going to do this. And then we're going to use his agility. And he actually now has strength. Okay. Now his awareness will actually go up as well. As you see, it went up massively when it goes in there. Now we're going to use a little bit of the BC vision up in here so we can actually use what's going on here. And now he's going to be elusive. So now he can run out of the pocket with speed. Okay, so he doesn't need a spectacular catch. He's not a wide receiver. He's not a running back. So we're actually not going to use any of these projections, as you see. Now, he is going to use the play action. He's going to break the sack. He's going to throw under pressure. And he's going to throw on the run. And he's going to throw deep accuracy. He's going to be a medium throw accuracy. He's going to be a great player under throwing. And throw power is going to be great. As you see, he's already at a 99. He's already at a 99 rating. You see his field general, arm strength, west coast, and scrambler. Done. He can actually do it all. As you see, I didn't actually go ahead and pump up everything because I'm not greedy, and it's just not going to happen. Okay? Now, who's not going to love this guy? And not only that, but I didn't know about this guy. I did not actually use this, but he's already automatically at a 79. That's just the game doing it. I'm going to keep it the way it is. Now, play recognition. I'm going to go ahead and pump that up anyway. He's a quarterback. Everybody wants to know what the play recognition is. Okay? So what that does is that when you actually go ahead and double tap on the triangle, he's not going to freeze on the button. He's going to know what the play is at all times, especially being at a 99 rating. Now, let's go for shits and giggles and go with punt return. Who does a punt return as a quarterback? Nobody. Okay, not realistic, but we're going to do it anyway. Kicking power, not a big deal. Okay, so we're going to pump this up as a kicking accuracy. So he's going to be slightly an okay kicker. Maybe not a great kicker, not a fantastic kicker, but an okay kicker. Okay, so now his stamina, toughness, and energy or injury is going to be there. But that doesn't mean he's not prone to injury. That doesn't mean he's not going to get injured. That doesn't mean nothing. So we're going to go ahead and save these changes. Okay. So now we're going to go to Philip Lindsay. Philip Lindsay is already an 83 rating. Not bad as a rookie. I really like this guy. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and pump up this guy anyway. We're going to go ahead and use his acceleration. We're going to go ahead and pump up what he thinks that he doesn't have, that can have in the game. To reality, I already think this guy is already right here. This is how I feel like this guy is already. His BC acceleration to his carrying, all that has to be a 99. You already see where he's at. This is how I feel where he's actually at. Okay? I think he can break a tackle. I think he can do some truck stiff arm. That's a 99. Elusiveness, 99. Spin move, a massively awesome. Juke move, amazing. Catching, we'll just make this a 90. And then catching in traffic, I'm gonna make this a 90. Spectacular catch, also 90. So I can use this guy however I want at this point, right? Right? Okay. So now we're gonna go ahead and go over here to this run blocking and all that jazz, to this play recognition. This play recognition is where he needs to be. Okay, hit power. Now he can actually be not only elusive, but he can actually get out of tackles. So I'm going to go ahead and use this at 99. And then I'm actually going to go ahead and use the rest of this where it needs to be. I'm going to save my changes. Okay. So right now, okay. So now my kicker, as you see, I'm actually going to do nothing to the kicker other than use him as a superstar so he can develop a little faster. And I'm actually going to go ahead and skip to the bottom. I'm going to make him injury, toughness, stamina, and then the kicking power and accuracy power. Okay. As you see, this player is at an 81 rating, right? So nothing does to any of that, right? So what makes a good kicker? What makes a good kicker? Don't really know, do we? So none of the fitness, pursuit, power, or any of that. Just the kick return and all that jazz, right? That does nothing. But we're going to go ahead and bump that up to 50. Okay. So we already have that where we need to be. Man. Pursuit? Nope, that does nothing. Fitness, moves, blocking, shed blocking, hit power. Toughness, speed, awareness. Awareness? That pumped up my player a lot. Awareness to the kick, awareness where we actually need to be, and everything else, right? Amazing. And as you see on the right, accuracy and power went to the 99. All because I actually used, and this is where originally was at 60. So we actually went to the 99. Now we have a kicker at a 99 rating. Go ahead and save that. I highly don't recommend the kicker to be a 99 rating. Just the simple fact that it actually does nothing to the franchise. Doesn't help it, doesn't hurt it. But your stats look amazing. But I still don't recommend it. Now the punter. Don't really need the punter to be the same. But be aware that we'll see what it'll actually do. I'm going to go with star on here, go to the L1, hit over there. So now we're going to hit our awareness. Oh man. So we just already did just the awareness. And as you see, the kicking power was already at a 93. Interesting. But this does nothing to your stats at all. The toughness, stamina, and kicking. You all, every single player that you do this to, those three things need to happen. Because you can't have the stamina without actually the pressure. You can't have the toughness without the injury, and etc. as a domino effect. That's just how I feel. That's just how it should be. Now the kicking power. Okay. So now we're going to get our kicking power and accuracy. Now we'll actually have our punter 99 rating. So this is not cheating. My friends actually outside of this world thinks it's cheating, and it's not cheating at all. Now, wide receivers. Okay. Well, we don't. Let's just hypothetically say that Sanders, Sutton, and Hamilton doesn't need this. Let's go to Jordan Taylor. Let's edit him. Jordan Taylor, not a big deal, you know. He's one of those rookies that, you know, doing its thing. And we're going to go ahead and raise him up to a superstar. Push that button. Pump up his speed, accuracy, agility, and strength. And it does a little bit of something. And awareness does a lot, doesn't it? BC experience doesn't really do much. But to a wide receiver, you need it. The elusiveness. The elusiveness player actually needs to happen. Spin move, let's pump it up to a 90. Juke move, let's go 92. Catching. Catching in traffic. Spectacular catch. You always want your wide receivers to be in a spectacular catch. You push that square button, most of the time, they are going to catch it amazingly. 90% of the time, they're going to catch it amazingly. And release. And before I even actually got to this, already at a 99 rating. You don't even need the release or the jump, but we're going to do it anyway. And you see that I actually only used his strengths. I'm actually going to skip to the bottom and move it to the toughness. Okay. Now we're going to save our changes. And as you see, that Jordan Taylor actually moved to the top. We actually don't need to use him for the top, so we're actually going to go ahead and use him as a third string, so he could actually be in the slot receiver. You actually don't need your toppest receivers to actually be in this. Okay? You really don't. So, I actually took a lot of time into this already. So I'm going to go ahead and skip into this deal. I'm just going to go ahead and skip into it and go right into the Seahawks game. I like to actually use our uniforms and use our color rush. I love the color rush, and that's the way it is. So as you see, this game is actually just going to be straight up hypothetically, and you actually can see that my field general is going to be a 99, passer over rating, blah blah blah, and you can actually see that my players are at a 99 rating. You know, I didn't actually pump up every single player, but that's the way I did. You know, I was just giving you a taste about what I can actually do and what I can't do. I'm going to give you a couple of plays, and then we'll go from there.
Case scenario in Denver. It's the coach. This is week 1 of the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up,
as you see, I didn't pump up every single player. I was just giving you a taste about what you could actually do about pumping up a player.
Of the Seattle Seahawks. I'll be back at halftime with a look at the other games that are going on. But first, we're off to the Rockies. Standing by, here are Brandon Godden and Charles.
All right. That's a good day in Denver. Yeah, these players don't even know. Don't even know. But no matter how good of a player can be, it's depending of the player that's actually behind the actual player. It's the gamer, not the player. You could be at a 99 rating at all times. It's not okay.
They're ready to roll. They pass the eye test, don't they? This team looks fired up and ready to play. Meanwhile, for our visitors,
now,
the Seahawks, an early season tilt. And when it's an early
the only way to actually get Case Keenum to do his own thing is actually get out of the side of the pocket, mostly. Correct? I actually never pumped up Case Keenum, so I don't even know how he plays. But I'm dying to find out. I'm using this mode to actually show you what does the ratings do to the player.
A fourth down coming up. Decision time now, as this would be a long field goal attempt. So the field goal.
So this is what how it happened.
Boy, this is going to be darn near impossible. This kick to shatter the NFL record, a 69-yard attempt, and this is good. It was running out of gas.
Not a problem.
But he winds up getting just enough.
69-yarder to shatter the record.
There's a buzz after that one, understandably so. I cannot believe he hit that thing. And you can't help.
And as you see, just barely made it. 69-yarder, blown it away. Okay. All right. Broncos got the ball. Another 69-yarder.
Fourth and a yard. It would be a long field goal try. Would they consider going for it? Let's jump in and find out. And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar as he drops it in from long distance.
Okay.
And that'll make it 6-0 here in the first.
So, and as you see, all I'm doing is kicks. So that doesn't have anything to do with anything. Like, I have actually pumped up my offensive player a little bit, my defensive player a little bit, and it's still evening out where I have to do kicks. You know, I'm doing the magical moments. That doesn't mean anything. It's how you utilize your players. Alright, so we're actually going to get some traction. So now we're getting to realistic planes here. So as you see here, I'm actually going to go ahead and switch to the... I always like to use my camera to up here so I can actually utilize it a little better. And this is why... That's that. Okay, that's what shed blocking is. That's what actually blocking the tackle is. That's what that actually looks like. So we're going to go ahead and run again. And that's now first down. Have Philip Lindsay once more. And that's that. Okay. So now I'm going to do a pass play depending on what the penalty is going to be. I'm going to accept it. I'm going to go ahead and do it anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and do it this way. Did you see how fast he got that out? And he wasn't even panicked? Is the point that I was actually trying to make. Cortland Sutton, watch this. Okay, I actually did a high pass. Didn't really have to. It looked like he was wide open. I was actually trying to see if he was going to go into coverage. He did not. So I made him jump for no reason. Did you see how easy that was for him, though? And he was not my guy that actually pumped out. Just Jordan Taylor. Do you see how Jordan Taylor didn't get open as much as Cortland Sutton did? So it doesn't really matter if you're an 89 rating or not. Just how to utilize them as well. You got to utilize your players as you pump them up so you can actually pump them up a lot faster. But if you really want, put everything at 99 and see what happens. Roll the dice. So I'm only going to use the moments, so that's all I'm doing right now as the point taken. Let's see here. So now we have a minute and 23 seconds in the second quarter. We're in the red zone. So let's go ahead and take a peek about what's happening here. Not a good player to actually use that for. But since we actually did Philip Lindsay, as one of those ratings, as a 99 rating, he can get open a lot faster. So not only did he shed that blocking like he would have, he just went down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass, looked like it was coming together.
So we're going to go ahead and use this as a point taken, as he's fast. Went up the middle. Went up the middle.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it out.
So looks like we have Philip Lindsay on the outskirts. We're going to go ahead and pass to him. And he actually went right into it. I didn't actually get to the point where I was going to use my triangle to... So let's go into our normal slants like I usually like going with my bread and butter. We'll go ahead and keep that as all day. And then we're going to go ahead and use our standards. There we go. There's that. As you see that nobody was surrounding him. He had confidence in everything else. He just was able just to keep it. And I didn't pump up all my players. I literally didn't. You saw that. I didn't. But I'm playing like a champ. We're like totally blowing out Seattle at this point. And Seattle, realistically, was a close game. And I'm actually using my moments and everything else, so I'm actually not 100% controlling all of my players. If I was, it would actually be a total blowout by 3 points. I don't think I would have actually made 21 points within the half anything. I don't think so. I don't plan my defense that way. That's just the way it is. And the Seahawks are a really good team. I just don't know how to utilize the defense against the Seahawks. Not with the Broncos. There you go. See? All right. So we're actually getting some coverage here. So we're in kicking range as of right now, since we know how to kick a 69-yarder. The 69-yarder is actually probably the... I can't even go 70. I was at a 99 kicking rating with McManus. I cannot kick a 70-yard field goal. If I was just 1 yard off, that's it. 69 yards is all you can kick. Shattered the record twice. Oh yeah. It's all a stat thing. It's just all about stats. When you're playing against your man player, none of those ratings actually mean a ding dang dong. Now, if you're actually one of a player, I'm not going to say in names, but if you're going to keep dropping the ball in the goal line area, you kind of deserve to actually get that touchdown against you. LOL. You know who you are? Now, so we're actually now into the fourth quarter. The game is practically over before it started at this point. And we're already well enough into the range. So look at this here. It's actually green here. That doesn't mean it's a go. Doesn't mean nothing. It means according to your blocks, according to everything else. See? Doesn't mean anything. Doesn't mean a jack diddle. It's how to utilize your defense and how to utilize everything else. So this is how we're going to go ahead and pursue it. So do you see how the green's over there and the red's over there? we're going to go ahead and go right into it.
They'll run it now out of the gun. They showed off the athletic juke. Good little game there.
All right. So when we get the opportunity, we're going to go ahead and do the same.
Running their 9 yards. Sets up a 3rd and 1.
Now that was kind of interesting. It appears this coaching staff really trusts this rookie early in his career. They want to get him a touchdown here in his NFL debut.
See? Now we're at 4th down and short. 4th down and short. He thinks he got me. Not really worried about it. We're going to go ahead and just utilize this play as what it is. So I actually like to use my Lindsay. I'm going to go ahead and block for me. I'm going to drop his block. I'm going to go ahead and drop Booker as my block as well. I'm going to go use Sanders as my slot. And now I'm just going to run the ball because I can. See that? Did you see that? He was fast, right? Okay. Well, that's the way it is. Everybody thought I was going to pass it. Didn't need it. It's 4th and 3. Didn't need it. Not at all.
This is why you want to be home in week 1. They're looking sharp. And I agree with you totally. That's what you want. But there carries a little extra pressure with that as well because you and I both know protecting
see that? Didn't even see it coming.
So you go into it. Yeah, we want it, but now you actually.
Why he slid, I have no idea. I was actually trying to go into like one of those diving touchdowns, but he slid right into it. So the game was been over a while ago. Go ahead and made that touchdown just for S and G, or S and giggles. So look at Hamilton on my right. He's a slot receiver. So Sutton's actually going to go into this there, and we have a post.
Throwing now, Keenum. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Knocking it away there defensively, Justin Coleman.
So now we're going to go to a play action to the tight end.
So after the incompletion on first,
and now it's Hemingway. Right? So you think that Hemingway's going to get the ball, and I'm not going to do that at all. See how I juked super quick? Because I used those ratings. 99 rating. Not a big deal. Devontae Freeman. We'll use this power. Not a big deal, right? 4th and 1.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy lift come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers.
So we have the tight end there. So we're going to go right into there. So I think I can actually run this in at this point. And I can't. Oh well. No big deal. So we're just going to train down that clock pretty much. And you get what I'm actually doing here. How it's reacting, how it actually does it, everything else. All right. So we have a good kicking rating right there. Dang. Okay, so let's see who gets the ball. Hemingway gets the ball. All right. So 41 to 10. Not a break a sweat in this game at all.
And partner, this first week, this first game that we get to call together, so special. Every year, week 1, you have to fly over the big American
As they're so
out there before the game.
frustrated. As you see, I used a fresh
Opening game. There's just nothing like it because you really build
franchise on this whole deal. Let's see what our stats look like. 250 yards passing, not much rushing. As you see, it kind of made it look realistic when I actually used developments.
So for Denver,
Thank you for using my tutorial, and that's actually that. You have a good night.